nervous just now. We just had a downpour of rain. It was really, really super loud. So just in case that happens again, that's what the whooshing sound is. It's not the second Pentecost. It's not the Holy Spirit coming again. Well, it could be. You never know. You never know. But it could be a really big downpour of rain. So that's why I'm wearing this awesome shirt this morning with umbrellas. I love it. So we have some awesome updates from people, and this is the one I've missed for the last 2 weeks. We've pre-recorded some of the Bethel Kids stuff, and I have totally missed the updates. So, which side am I on? I'm on that side. So, Bethel Kids news and updates! Yeah! Love it. We still need to work out this theme tune. If you can write me a theme tune, send it in, record it, and it'll go as a theme tune for Bethel Kids, definitely. Woof. Awesome. So we have some updates from the Potts family this morning. So let's have a look at what the Potts been doing. They've been doing a sports day. I don't know if this is with school or with family friends within their bubble, but they've been doing an egg and spoon race, which is super cool. Love it. A welly throwing competition. That's really cool. I love that. I generally love throwing a welly up the garden. That's really cool fun. Make sure it's not full of water though, because that'll just go everywhere. Let's have a look. Oh, skipping as well. How cool is that? Let's have a look. Ice cream. Where was my invite? Can't believe it. You had ice cream without me. And look, there's Smarties and stuff on the top of that too. And a waffle cone, John. Oh. Ooh, milkshakes as well, or is it smoothies? I think you did healthy food at school this week as well, because there was a few pictures that you sent in that had you with like strawberries and bananas and doing like a healthy smoothie. That is very, very cool. Bwyd iachus. Yeah, healthy food. How cool. So let's have a look. We've got melon, we've got banana, apple, orange, plum, pineapple, strawberry, lemon, and I can't see the other ones. My eyesight, I can't see it. We've got, it's updates from the Urine Chats. Look, it's so cute. It's a little guinea pig. How cute is that guinea pig? I love it. Oh, and Sammy's been making pizzas as well. That's really cool. Oh, look at that. Oh my word, that looks delicious. As you can see there, Yuri's got his face full as well, which is cool. So this week in the Barker household, Eli's been making some jam, so our allotment has produced an absolute abundance of raspberries, which is really cool. So Eli's been making jam, it's called dripping jam. And you can see there he's sieving out some of the pips and things like that, and it's going into the big jar. He absolutely loves it. It tastes divine, as most jams do. This is Lupin posing in the garden. He's been spending lots of time in the garden. He has been getting very warm though, because he's got a black coat and it's been very hot the last few days, hasn't it? But he does like a little bit of a shower as well. And we've had the pool go in as well. So there's Eli and Heilwen in the pool, which is awesome. Heilwen had a homeschool thing where she had to do textures and to make a picture. So she tried getting a texture from the tortoise, but the tortoise decided to crawl off. She wasn't having any of it. But yeah, so Heilwen did textures, and Lupin met a friend. So I was going up the garden path, and I nearly tripped over a hedgehog. It was so cute and really fast. They run really, really super fast. And so Lupin came out the back door, and he decided to sniff around and find out where this hedgehog was. And he went up and he met him and he said hello. And they had a little conversation and they went their separate ways. And then, of course, I had a haircut. As you can see, look, my head is so much lighter now. That's Yale doing my haircut. It was a painful thing. It's much like Samson. I now no longer have any strength. And we've got the Vaughan Davises. Look at that. So the Vaughan Davises did, if you remember the craft a few weeks ago, we did owls. And so these are their owls. How cool did they turn out? I'm loving the colours, the teal and the kind of minty colour, very cool. And the nice little eyes, and even the flower as well. That looks really cool, Lois, well done. And we've got the Pickles family as well. So I have to apologise to Elsie. Elsie, I am so sorry we didn't do a Bethel Kids update when it was your birthday. And Erin as well, and I think there's one or two others who had birthdays during the last 2 weeks. And I do apologise, and I wish you all happy birthday now. Happy birthday! See, that's me wishing you happy birthday. So Elsie had her birthday, and they had picnic in the park. As you can see, this is Elsie's cake. It was Wind in the Willows themed, so there's the otter. Very cool. And there's Elsie blowing out her cake. Elsie, I absolutely love your t-shirt with James and Thomas on it. Top class there. And Elsie got to see one of her friends from school, which is really cool. So that was a special moment, getting to see one of her friends. That is awesome and cool. We got the Vernons as well. This is a lovely photo of you guys as a family, I've got to say. It's absolutely beautiful, made me smile. And so that's you guys out on a walk. I think that was for Father's Day. And Olivia is still practicing all of her cooking skills. This is making a pizza. I love it. Olivia, do you do delivery like Domino's? Do you have an app that I can like select my pizza from? Because that would be really, really cool. And look at this pizza. It looks so tasty. Oh my gosh. And they've been doing some colouring in as well. I'm liking the red and the blue on Elsa. Very cool. Maybe that's going to be the next film with like lava and ice. I don't know, maybe. Very, very cool. And, oh, Erin wrote a postcard. And now this is really, really good. So, Erin's got a postcard here. She's coloured it in. It is a Tiana picture, which is really cool. Like Tiana, good princess. But she's done the postcard to Camilla, another little girl from Bethel Kids. And so that they can be pen pals and they can write back and forth to one another. How cool would that be? So ask your parents. They'll have the church address book soon, an updated version soon, or maybe they've got one now, and they might be able to find the address of one of your friends from Bethel Kids or Livewires, and you'll be able to write a postcard to them and keep in touch in that way. It's a lovely way of keeping in touch with one another. So, and Erin on a scooter here. John, I think we might need to go full screen for the next one. So we've got some videos coming up in a second now. I hope these work. Is your volume up on your laptop, John? Yeah, cool. I hope this volume works. It should do, because this is awesome. So Erin has been learning how to play the drums. Oh my gosh, that is so cool, Erin. Well done. I mean, we're going to have you in the worship team before long. This would be incredible. The big thumbs up there from John, big thumbs up from me. John says that you're better than your father, which is high praise indeed. So, the next video as well from the Vernons is, I know some of you might have been on YouTube and you might have seen some of those satisfying videos where things like popped and sounds and things like that. So the Vernons had a delivery this week which had a lot of bubble wrap in it. So as you can see, they had a lot of fun popping the bubbles in the bubble wrap. Oh, you guys, that's awesome. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, that's so cool. So thank you very much for that video. That's really cool. I love the fact that you're dancing around on the bubble wrap. That's really cool. There's a brilliant film, Mr. Megorium's Emporium, and they do dancing on the bubble wrap there, and that always reminds me of that. That's really cool. So this week, the Lawsons as well, they've sent an update. So Ava's been doing some craft online with her friends from the look of it. She's been creating some stuff. We got some like kind of elastic there, and watching a craft video. There's loads of cool craft videos on YouTube to have a look at, definitely. Helping Dad out by doing the mowing. Very, very cool. And using your brother there to make sure that you don't go over the cable. Safety first, guys, safety first. It's talking of safety first. This is doing a dive bomb into the swimming pool over your brother's head from the look of it. I think she jumped like kind of wee bonk, and after shots, splash! Do you know what? There's some photos that just make you giggle and smile, don't there? And it's a photo like that where you know I'm going the wrong way. Photo like that you just know that there's so much smiles and happiness going on in there. So absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Ava. And going on walks as well. Always lovely to go for a walk. Do you know what? We're absolutely blessed in North Cardiff with all the places that we can walk. The meadow, along the canal, through Heath Park, loads of places for us to walk around. So it's been absolutely great during this lockdown period to go out for walks with our family, isn't it? Now, I thought this was a mistake when they sent this picture in, because I was like, it's not Christmas. It hasn't been Christmas for ages, at least 6 months. Actually, nearly dead on 6 months. So, I had to have an explanation for this one, and apparently they do a Zoom family quiz each week, and the theme this week was Christmas. So they all dressed up in their Christmas jumpers on one of the hottest days of the year, and put up their Christmas tree and everything, and did their Zoom quiz in the house. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, middle of the summer, hottest day in your Christmas jumpers. You guys are absolute nutters, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And talking of the canal, actually, this is the Lawsons. They went for a walk up the canal and saw the duckies. And if you go quickly, there are some proper little chicky ducks as well that you can go and see. So, thank you everybody for all of your updates. I absolutely adore seeing all your updates. They're incredible. And they're so encouraging, and I just love seeing you all having fun as well, and showing what you're getting up to during this lockdown period. And know this, right, that me, John, and the leadership and all the people in the church are praying for you, as some of you are going back to school this week. And it might be a bit scary, it might be a bit frightening, it might be a bit different when you get there, but know that God is with you, okay? Know that God is with you, and that we're praying for you guys as you go back. So, let's move on with this morning, shall we? We've got a brilliant explain this morning, because do you know what? It struck me the other day as I was doing a jigsaw. Do you like my jigsaw? It's a very cool jigsaw. So as I was doing my jigsaw, that, you know, this big list of attributes that we've got that, you know, covers a lot of attributes that God has. It's funny, isn't it, that all of them make up the same God. It's one God. It's not like the God of love, or the God of omnipresence, or the God of awesomeness. He is the God of love and the God of omnipresence and the God of awesomeness. He's everything. He's the Alpha and Omega. He is one God. Just like I was saying with the jigsaw, if all the pieces of the jigsaw weren't there, it wouldn't be a cool picture at the end, would it? Just like that, if you take away one of God's attributes and think of that on its own, it's not a very good picture, is it? That's not a good picture on its own. But when you put it all together and you see God as one God with no parts missing, it's an awesome picture to behold. How cool is that? I mean, you know, there's a cool story in the Bible, right, that kind of talks about this. Oh, hello, Grandpa.
Oh, sorry, I was just waking up. I often scream when I wake up.
Oh, okay. Screaming when you wake up, eh? Oh, that's a good note too. I love it.
It's true, I'm an amazing singer.
Oh, absolutely amazing singer. I've heard him sing. It's normally in the toilet, in the shower.
It takes me a while to find my voice, but yes, I'm there.
Yeah, you're getting there. You might need some water later on, maybe.
Oh, yes, please, have you got any?
But, no, I haven't actually on me. I've got some sand. Well, that won't help.
Okay, I don't think sand would help.
No, I don't think sand. Sand might dry you out a bit more. Grandpa, now that you've joined me, I was just showing the boys and girls my jigsaw, and I was telling them how God is made up of all the attributes that we've been looking at so far this year.
That's amazing.
And it's how you can't really take one away and say, "Oh, I don't like this part of God. I'm not gonna have it." You have to have all the attributes of God,
All of them.
Yes, all of them together. So I thought we could tell them the story about Paul when he went to Athens.
Nice fella, Paul.
Nice. What?
Yeah.
You knew Paul.
I knew Paul.
Okay,
Nice guy.
hang on. Pre or post conversion?
It was definitely after, whichever one that is.
After conversion, okay, post conversion. So Paul was an awesome guy who was, well, he wasn't really an awesome guy beforehand. He used to kind of poke names at all the Christians, didn't he?
He was a bad guy.
He
Yeah.
was a bad guy, but on the road to Damascus, he had an encounter with God. And God is so awesome and showed Paul the right way that then Paul became a Christian and he started preaching. And Paul travelled around everywhere, didn't he?
He did. He went from place to place, just telling as many people as possible all about the fact that they could be saved.
As many people as possible. And on one of these adventures, he ended up in Athens.
Oh,
I know,
didn't he
Athens.
just?
Oh, yes, he did. So he was waiting there in Athens, hanging around the Starbucks, as you do, waiting for Timothy and Silas to turn up, his friends.
It wasn't Starbucks, Tim.
Was it not Starbucks?
No, it was McDonald's.
McDonald's. I thought it was a Greg's.
No, don't be silly, it was McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, because it was the afternoon. Greg's is morning. Greg's is breakfast time. Afternoony. Right, so he was waiting around in Athens for his friends, Timothy and Silas. And you know what? As you do when you're waiting around somewhere, you kind of have a look around, don't you? And Paul did that in Athens. He looked around and he started seeing all these idols everywhere. Do you know what idols are, boys and girls? Idols are statues that are made up that people kind of worship. And so he saw all these idols, and just like we were saying about all these attributes of God, it was kind of like they'd taken pieces of God that they liked and made an idol to that. So they were like, oh yeah, we want this kind of God. And they made that idol. We want a gold God. And they made that idol.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it? So they split God up and they put him in different idols. And they said, oh yeah, we're going to worship this part of you, but not that part of you. And there was one statue that was to an unknown God. That's how confused they were. They even worshipped an unknown God.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Paul, being Paul, because he wanted to make sure that he wanted to try and understand. So he went into the temple and he went to chat to some of the priests. And he also spoke to some of the people in the marketplace to find out why all of these idols had been made. And he said to them, look, you're worshipping all of these idols, but actually you should be worshipping the one God, because that is the one God who is all of these idols. He is all of these things that you're worshipping all together in one. How cool is that, Grandpa?
It was amazing. He said to them, you worship the unknown God,
Yeah.
but I've come to tell him all about you.
Yes. How cool is that?
That's so cool. So cool.
And then, so he gets kind of talked to. Paul met in the place that people went to talk about important things then, because he got called up to there.
Like me, I talk about important things.
Important things all the time, Grandpa.
Only ever important things.
Only ever important things.
I'd never interrupt you unless it was important.
Nope, never interrupt me unless it's important.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just reading at the moment.
sorry, carry on.
I was going to have a look in the Bible.
Great.
To have a look. So, boys and girls, if you find your ICB Bibles, and if you go to page 1293.
That's nearly as old as I am.
What? Wait, what? Nearly as old? I thought you were younger. How old are you, Grandpa?
I don't know. Is there an earthquake today? These walls seem to be a bit rickety.
They are a little bit rickety, aren't they? I think we might need to shore them up a little bit.
Or I might need a diet, I don't know.
Or a diet, definitely. So, Paul is chatting with the priests in the Areopagus.
Not the aeroplane.
Not the aeroplane,
No.
because they weren't invented then. This
That
is
would
the
be crazy.
Areopagus.
That's right.
And so this is where people went to talk about important things.
Like me.
Like you. Grandpa was probably there in the corner, actually.
No, I mean they were probably talking about me.
You are important things that they talk about.
I know.
Yeah, oh yes, exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
What? You're confusing me, Grandpa. You're confusing me.
It's so much fun and easy.
I know. So he spoke to them about their idols and about the one true God. He wasn't made by man. He doesn't live in temples built by men. He gives life to all. God, the God, Paul's God, the God that wasn't any of these idols, raised Jesus from the dead. And Paul told them about that one God that they needed to know about. How cool is that, Grandpa?
It is amazing. Sometimes we worry about telling people who maybe think different things to us or don't believe what we believe, but actually sometimes people just need to know.
Yeah, people just need to know who that God is, and yeah, they need to know that. Right, boys and girls, I'm going to hand over to a craft now, if I can get this to work.
Let me know if you need any help.
I will. Right, so I will hand over to the craft now. You guys go and do some craft. You get to make this, and I'll see you in a minute. So the craft this week is going to be really fun, and I just thought that in every day we should be cheering on and be encouraged by God and share Him with others, because He is the one God and He is number one. So, what better way of doing number one than having one of these awesome fingers that you can go, yeah, number one! So, if you have a look at the back of the handout, there are these two hands, meant to be foam hands I was going to say, but we're going to do them on paper today because that's the easiest way for us to do it. So, for this craft we're going to need the printout, some felt pens to colour it in, whichever colour you want, or loads of rainbow colours. I know my daughter Hylwen would be really happy with rainbow colours. You need a pair of scissors, safety scissors, or ask an adult or a mum or dad to cut out with you to make sure that you're safe. A glue stick, possibly some sellotape, and a stapler maybe if you need it as well. Right, so we're gonna shove all of this to one side. I thought that I might have a go at doing a double click this morning. A double click means that we're going to do the cutting and the colouring in at the same time. Now for you at home, it probably won't work this way, but you can give it a try. Have a go and do some clicks and see if it works. However, what I want you to do is colour it in first, and then you can cut it out. That way you don't have to be very neat around the outside lines. You can wait until you cut it out to be able to be neat. Right, so let's have a go. So this one is for the colouring in, and this one is for the cutting out. So 3, 2, 1. Wow! So yeah, the colouring in and the cutting out worked at the same time. I didn't know these puppies were so powerful. Right, so we've got the two halves of the hand. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attach them together like this. So the way you can do that is you can either run a glue stick around the edge, or you can use sellotape around the edge to sellotape it, or you can staple around the edge. Whichever way is best for you. So I'm going to use some glue and see if it works. Now when you are gluing, just make sure that you've only glued around the edges. Otherwise you won't be able to get your hand in there. And then we line it up and you stick it down like that. Awesome. So for me, I'm going to put some sellotape along the bottom wrist part of the hand just to make sure that it stays all together. Cool, so on one side we've got God is number one, yes, and we've got a wonderful thing that reminds us that there's only one God on the other side, and that is this week's memory verse. So it is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Deuteronomy 6:4. How cool is that? So let's see. I don't know if my hand's going to fit because I've kind of sized it for you guys, because your hands are probably smaller than mine. but I'll put my fingers in. There we are. So, yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Awesome. Have fun doing this craft. And send us in some pictures of how yours looks and how you coloured it in. We want to see how beautiful and how rainbowy all of this is. Awesome. Thanks very much, guys. Bye. Enjoy making your awesome hands. How cool is that? Yay! As I said, my hand is a little bit bigger than yours, so it doesn't quite fit in. But I might give this to Grandpa later. He might enjoy having that, so he can cheer on God. Yay! So, have an awesome time making that craft, because it's really, really cool. We're going to finish up today by honouring God. And what do we do when we honour God? We talk to him and we pray to him and we thank him for all the things that he does. And we also spend some time remembering our memory verses, yeah, so that we honour God through that way. So let me just... So yeah, so we're going to honour God. So first we're going to pray. So what do we do when we pray? We shut our eyes. We hold our hands together and we bow our heads so that we don't fidget, and we pay attention to what God's saying to us as well as what we're saying to him. Right, so if you close your eyes, bow your heads, hold your hands together and sit still. Dear God, thank you for the truth that you are the one and only God. We cannot separate any of your truths. You are love, you are judge, you are salvation, you are Alpha and Omega. Thank you for giving us the Bible, where we can learn about who you are and what you are like. Please continue to teach us to worship you the way that you deserve to be worshipped. Amen. Amen. So just remains for me to say that we've got our memory verse this week, which is, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." In Deuteronomy 6:4. So guys, have an awesome week. If you're going back to school, remember that we're going to be praying for you. Send us in videos of you doing the memory verse if you want to. Send us in some pictures of your craft, how you've coloured in the finger or craft from previous weeks. We'd love to see any pictures. Send us in updates as well by next Friday night, so that they can be included, so that we can see what you've been getting up to this week. And just to remind you as well that next week we're not meeting. We haven't got Bethel Kids next week. We're going to be meeting as Whitchurches together. So that's churches together in Whitchurch, where we're going to have like a big family service all together. Lots of different churches taking part. And on Saturday and Sunday, there's an opportunity for you to get a goodie bag from down at Ararat in the morning, and you can also do a little treasure hunt up through Whitchurch as well, keeping socially distanced and all of that. If you get your mums and dads to go onto Facebook, they'll be able to find all the details on either our Facebook page or the Whitchurches Together Facebook page. But guys, it just remains for me to say, God bless. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. See you next week. Bye bye.